welcome to the Null Zone. Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. I am proud to present the Weekly BS. Now, the Weekly BS is a segment where I collect the community's feedback regarding current game concerns, suggestions to make the game better, and I also review bug reports. Now I need you, the community's help, to keep this going because everything I discuss here is directly forwarded to Netmarble via the CCC program. Disclaimer. Netmarble does not promise or guarantee any actions based on these submissions. Now with that said, let's get started. Welcome to the Weekly BS. So first we have some suggestions from me. So, villain and supervillain DPS dummies to test against, and when this is implemented, please don't use the name Danger Room. That's not for this kind of content. Danger Room should be something serious later on for maybe some endless waves. But yeah, don't reserve that name yet. All character transitions in flight should be as seamless as Doctor Strange. It's not only a balance concern, but it is a QOL. So, like, Spider-Man, for instance, when he stops in the air and he does his flip, he sits still for a solid second. It's really awful to traverse with him. And some of the jumping animations to get the flight, that pause gets you killed in PvE and PvP. And then lastly, give players the ability to challenge each other to dimensional duel matches that do not affect win-loss points. So a friendly or gentleman's match. That would be huge. That'd open up tournaments and all kinds of other crazy stuff. That would get the engagement way up there. So coming in from Seawild, give us the option to keep bonus stats when upgrading cards. Now, my notes on this are you should be able to sacrifice the rarity of the card you're upgrading to do this. Example being, if you're upgrading a 4-star to a 5-star, you add on a 5-star sacrifice card and it locks in the rolls of that 4-star going to the 5-star. This can work across the board, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, etc. That's pretty free to play friendly. They could do a not so free to play friendly option with a large crystal amount, but those are the two options that we have there. So coming in from Snuff, we got a few here. DZ time should be separated. 1 hour for points on your lead hero and 1 hour on all other characters for alt leveling. I agree with this. This opens up the alt leveling and doesn't make you sacrifice your point grind on your main. There's no real loss there on either side. Another one from Snuff, we have the Omega card and badges save slots, such as the swapping your skills. Have one for Omega cards and or badges. They could either be linked or unlinked. I like this idea. It can't really be abused. There is some skill swapping abuse going on. That's going to be addressed by Netmarble, but there is really no harm in implementing something like an Omega card or badge save slots. Lastly, we have a channel that specifically calls out world bosses. So you'd be able to select this just like World Chat, Local Chat, Alliance Chat, etc. We already have the channel that announces badge and gear polls, so it could be like that one. You opt into it if you're hunting bosses. It's kind of a QOL. It would reduce screen time on the behalf of Netmarble in the game, but I don't see it really being a big, impactful negative change on their half. So we have from Zeke, toggle on and off abilities while in auto mode, i.e., disable one skill from being used while still rotating through the other one, such as a damage buff or an immunity buff. Now, I agree, it would be a nice QOL, but it's kind of like a lazy smart mode. It might be going too far, sort of is it necessary? We have from Chashu, cross-server leaderboard for PvP, i.e. DD and Omega. So if it's cosmetic only and it's not associated with another top tier leaderboard, then I can see it. If it's just, just for purposes of comparing each players and alliances across the entire region, i.e. US West, US East, so on. We have from Whiskey Tango Fox. This is in regards to the possibility of the costume conversions from one character to the other. If this does become an actual reality, it needs to be restrictive so people can't abuse it to swap their main character at any whim, or if their character's getting nerfed, they just jump to the next best thing, or if some content creator puts out a big puff piece on, you know, X or Y hero, everyone FOMOs and jumps over to that character. That would ruin balancing and class ratios, so I think it should be very restrictive regarding that. So he suggested when transferring items, they downgrade by 1 or 2 levels. So if you're transferring a 5-star, it downgrades to a 4 or a 3-star. And then on top of that, no higher than 5-star can be transferred. Additionally, anyone who has a mass amount of opened items before the change happens, it doesn't go retroactive. So if the change would happen on 10/15, anything that you got on 10/14 or before would not be affected by the change, and you can't convert any of that stuff. So I'm in agreement with all that. My only note is do not allow regionals to be transferred. They're far too rare and strong to be able to be transferred from one character to another, and every character gets a free headpiece. So if you were to transfer all those characters to one headpiece, that's an instant 7 red star. That's a little broken right there. So I don't think regionals should be transferred. Got another one from Whiskey here. Pure cosmetic items with no stats. Earn them through seasonal events or difficult challenges. It's only to show you put in some time and effort, and not that you spent money or got lucky. I'm completely in agreement with this. This would be awesome. The only issue is art costs money, so I don't know where that balance would be. And then lastly, and Whiskey's probably going to catch some flack for this, is the option to view advertisements for some small amount of crystals, like 25 crystals. You can view one ad per game mode, and you can only do it once per week, and that's you like 125 free crystals in addition to what the game has already given you. So I know that's going to be highly controversial to bring in ads into the game, but you know, he suggested it, I'm bringing it out there. We have from Zagario the option to allow autopathing to use waypoint gates if you have the ticket. So I think this would be a nice QOL for people that are spending or buying those waypoint gate tickets. Just an option to check it, and autopathing goes to the gate and uses your ticket. It'd be cool. Anxiety has allow the selection of multiple regional material boxes to be opened at the same time. I agree with this. It is awful when you purchase the boxes and you're opening 20 at a time. You got to do like 6 clicks to get through the process. It takes, you know, an upwards of 10 minutes to open a large amount of boxes. It's not fun. It'd be a nice QOL, and it doesn't really hurt anyone. So lastly, we have this coming in from several users to upgrade and or fix the targeting system and the locking system. Things like Black Widow's Quick Step break target lock when used, and it basically makes the target lock and targeting system useless and pointless. It depends. Black Widow is probably the most egregious issue to this problem. We have sometimes Spinblade from Iron Man breaks targeting, and a few other miscellaneous characters' abilities break the locking. So I do think the locking and or targeting could be fixed. I also think that there should be maybe a cycle nearest target button, sort of like how we have target lock or the toggle PvP mode, PvE mode in Dark Zone. It'd be nice to have a cycle nearest, and then it would just cycle through whatever is within your attackable range. That'd be pretty awesome. Nice QOL there. We have another one, a pity system for regional box crafting. Now, the take on this from me is I think a fair number would be between 200 and 300 boxes crafted. You get a guaranteed regional, but it's still a random regional of that. So you could get a dupe head, right? It's got to be random. So free to play gets roughly 60 to 80 crafts per month, depending on Spec Ops RNG and if they buy the 500 crystal crafting packs. So you're looking at roughly a guaranteed regional piece every 2 to 3 months if your luck craps out. I think that's fair because it's random and it could still be a dupe. And then lastly, auto purchase of potions when you run out. I think that is a highly needed feature because I can't tell you how many times I've gone into something, gone low on potions, and I go in to buy them, and then I come back out of the option menu and I'm dead. It sucks. Now for the bug portion of the weekly BS. Yes, I realize the S came before the B, but the weekly SB sounds silly. So, we have Meat Suit here reporting in that the Photon Blast cooldown pauses after the first of the 3 visual attacks during the skill use and ends after the skill finishes, thus adding time to the CD for no reason. The CD does not end early as if a visual display error Here we have Zeke reporting that Storm's Electrocute occasionally does not register damage. Lastly, we have several reports that the Dimensional Duel suggests you have a stronger character to use, however, it is in fact a much weaker character. And with that said, that's a wrap on the Weekly BS. Again, I would like to thank the community for helping out with this segment, and to please continue to support it by submitting your concerns, suggestions, and bug reports within my Discord. If you need the link, it is below in the description. Additionally, I'd love to hear your feedback for this segment and what else does the community want to see from me regarding content. I hope to see everyone back here in the Null Zone next week for the next Weekly BS. Take care.